Good morning students. Welcome to e-learning classes. This is your computer period and we are doing lesson number 1, that is central processing unit. In our previous video we have discussed about what is CPU, what are the functions of CPU, what are the working of CPU. Now in this video we will discuss about what are the different parts of CPU, in which I have already explained you about CU, and now today I will explain you arithmetic logical unit, means ALU, then memory unit. So students, go through the video and watch it carefully. Lesson number 1, Central Processing Unit. In this chapter, we have covered the topics, that is more about CPU. We have discussed about what is CPU, what are the working of CPU, what are the function of CPU, and in our previous video I have explained internal parts of CPU. In that I have told you that there are 3 parts of CPU. First one is ALU, second is CU, third one is MU. And in our previous video we have discussed about control unit or CU. In this video we will discuss about the second part of the CPU, that is arithmetic and logic unit. ALU, short form of arithmetic and logic unit, is ALU, and an ALU is an integrated circuit within a CPU that perform arithmetic and logic operation. Arithmetic instruction means it perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and logic instructions include comparison, where there is a comparison between two things and the result is in the form of yes, no, yes or no, and or, where you get the result in the form of yes or no, and or. That is called comparison or logical operations. So it performs, arithmetic and logical unit perform arithmetic and logical operation. As the name indicates, all the calculations are made in the ALU. CU, which we have discussed about the one of the part of the CPU, that is CU, it transfer instruction to ALU for processing, and after the information has been processed by the ALU, it is then sent to the computer's memory, and it is responsible for doing arithmetic and logical operations. What is the purpose of ALU? ALU or arithmetic logical unit enables computer to perform mathematical operations on binary number. As you know, computer know only machine language, and it is also known as binary language or binary number. It is of 0 and 1 digit, and it understand only this language, and ALU perform mathematical operations on these numbers, on binary numbers, and they are one of the most important part of the CPU. ALU is the most important part of CPU. ALU knows which operations to perform because it is controlled by signal from the control unit. Control unit gives signal to ALU, and ALU perform all the instructions which are sent by CU. Now after this, the third and last part of the CPU is memory unit. The memory unit contains data and instruction needed for processing. It consists of primary memory, which is divided into 2 parts, with RAM and ROM. Memory unit is of 2 type, that is primary memory and secondary memory. But in CPU The memory unit contains primary memory and which is divided into two parts, that is RAM and ROM. ROM. What is the full form of ROM? You must have read it in your previous class. ROM, ROM. ROM means read only memory. As the name suggests, you can read whatever is printed on it, whatever is data is in it, you can only read it. This is a non-volatile nature. ROM is of non-volatile nature. It means when the instruction which is stored in ROM never get lost even the power goes off. It is a permanent memory. Read-only memory is a permanent memory and it is a non-volatile in nature. Non-volatile means if the power goes off, whatever instruction or data stored in it, it never get lost. That's why it is known as permanent memory. You can read out whatever data is in it and it cannot be changed in any way. It is fixed in nature. Whatever instruction is in it in ROM, it is fixed in nature. You cannot make any change in it. You can only read it. Now after this, the second part of the memory unit is RAM. RAM means random access memory. Random access memory is like a free space which can be utilized by the computer to run some small queries. Data which is stored in it can be displayed for short period, or if the power goes off, whatever data is stored in it can be lost. So it is volatile in nature. It is not permanent in nature. The data in RAM keeps on continuously changing. So it is volatile in nature. There are two types of memory. In memory unit, it is divided into two parts, that is ROM and RAM. ROM is non-volatile in nature. That means it is permanent in nature. Everything, whatever instruction is in or data is present in ROM, it cannot be changed. But RAM is volatile in nature. That means it is temporary in nature. The data displayed, the data which is present in RAM, it can be displayed for short time period and new instruction can be overwritten or written according to your need. So students, we have discussed about that there are three parts of CPU. One is CU, second is ALU, and third is MU or memory unit. Memory unit is divided into two parts, that is ROM and RAM. ROM is non-volatile in nature. It is permanent in nature. RAM is volatile in nature. That means it is temporary in nature. So after this, in our next video, we will discuss about some more topics. Thank you.